In like a 2-year span, we're talking about I tore my ACL, LCL, my hamstring came off, my meniscus, I blew my Achilles.
And this is a potential worst case scenario.
In one of the most cursed NFL careers we've ever seen, J.K. Dobbins clawed back from hell. And that's because his toughest battles came way before football.
When I was little, I didn't have a stable home. I haven't been through what a normal kid would go through.
When his mom was 18, she walked into an abortion clinic ready to end her pregnancy. But the doctors revealed something shocking. She was already 5 months in, and 4 months later, J.K. Dobbins was born.
It took a lot of thinking to keep the child or not. That's what I always tell him. He's a miracle baby. He's like my shining star.
In LaGrange, Texas, the Dobbins name carried weight. J.K.'s father, Lawrence Dobbins, was one of the best football players the town had ever seen. But to J.K., he was more than just a local legend. He was his hero, his best friend. His father taught him to always smile no matter what's going on. Because if you're alive, you have something to smile about. But that was easier said than done.
JK saw lots of things that no child should have to see. Emotional abuse, physical abuse.
Cops. Sometimes I see my mom crying. Sometimes I see my dad crying.
For JK's future, his mom decided to leave. And his dad, he started hanging out with the wrong people. And that lifestyle caught up fast.
Putting the wrong thing in your body and also being caught with that, you go to prison. You go to jail. He wanted me to do great. I was his pride and joy. Him telling me that you don't want this type of life, that was a big motivator to me as well.
But those words would be some of the last he'd ever give his son. Because at age 33, Lawrence Dobbins suffered a stroke and died in prison. JK was just 15 years old.
He passed in prison. It was hard. It was the hardest thing ever.
He would visit his grave and see the number 22, the same number on his jersey. To him, that was a sign. Football can not only change his life, but the lives around him. So from that day, he made a promise.
So I have to get to the NFL so I can make my mom retire and be able to get stuff for her that she's never had before. Make my family proud of who I am and what I've done. Because, I mean, not many people in my family have graduated college.
And from that day forward, J.K. Dobbins became unstoppable. Over the next 3 seasons, he put up over 5,000 rushing yards and 70 touchdowns, becoming the second best running back in the nation. Every major program wanted him, so he committed early and took his talents to Ohio State University. Now a senior, he had one goal left: win a state title.
Oh yeah, I'm about to have a big senior year, maybe take my team to state. Hopes are high for me.
In the first play of the game, JK goes around the edge, and just before he's out of bounds,
break my ankle.
He was out for the year, and that was painful. He couldn't sleep, anxious Ohio State might pull his offer. So he focused on recovery and enrolled early and showed up hungry to play. But hey, this is Ohio State. True freshmen don't just walk into the starting lineup, especially with Mike Weber, a proven 1,000-yard rusher. Then in fall camp, opportunity knocked. Weber went down with an injury, and boom, JK had his shot.
One of the new players I can't wait to see is a true freshman tailback, J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins gets to the outside. Guy didn't even play his senior year in high school. Walked in here like he's been here his whole life. But to me, he just looked like a junior.
J.K. broke the freshman record, rushing for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. His mom was in the stands, proud of her son.
Actually, I cried like a baby.
That was a lot for her because not only did I make it through when my dad couldn't break through, we've been through so much together, like so much together. Whenever I play, I just want to make sure my mom is happy and I want to go off for my mom, you know.
From that night on, JK was RB1. He stacked up 5 more 100-yard games, and by December, Ohio State was in the Big Ten Championship facing undefeated Wisconsin. And when the lights got brighter, so did J.K. Dobbins.
Dobbins breaks a tackle, watch out! Burst of speed, look at this freshman! J.K. Dobbins! Touchdown!
By the final whistle, J.K. had 174 yards, and the Buckeyes had stunned the Badgers.
Before we even took the last kneel, I'm crying because, like, I wish my dad was here to see this. I'm crying, and then Coach Alfred comes up to me. He's the first person I see. He gives me a big hug, and I start crying even harder. It's like, damn, I wish my dad was here to hug me.
Sensational freshman running back J.K. Dobbins as her Big Ten championship game
MVP.
He finished his true freshman season with over 1,400 yards, breaking Ohio State's freshman record while averaging more than 100 yards per game. But in year 2, the hype died down. Mike Weber came back, and suddenly, it was a split backfield. JK's production dropped, and so did the hype. He still went over 1,000 yards, but to him, it was a failure. The next year, Weber left for the NFL. No more competition. JK was RB1, and that's when he took over college football. 141 yards versus Cincinnati, 193 versus Indiana, 177 versus Nebraska. By November, he was already over 1,000 yards. Then came Michigan, Ohio State's biggest rival. And on the biggest stage, Dobbins put on an absolute clinic, rushing for 211 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Buckeyes claimed the Big Ten crown and punched their ticket to the college football playoffs, where they faced the Clemson Tigers, led by Trevor Lawrence. Dobbins came out on fire, breaking loose for a 68-yard touchdown. But after rolling his ankle, he dropped a crucial pass in the end zone, and in a close game, Clemson escaped 29-23. Still, Dobbins put up a historic season, going for 2,003 yards, the most in a single season in Ohio State history. But all the trophies and stats, it was extra. He played for his dad, and through all the success, he always visited his grave.
It's still kind of crazy that he's gone, and I just live for a second and just take a moment to look at his grave and think about my dad. Usually I say a prayer. I just think about how I want to do these things for my dad. It's a motivator for me.
His mission wasn't done. It was time to carry the Dobbins legacy into the NFL. Some scouts had him late first, others had him early second, but on draft night, neither. Pick after pick, running backs start flying off the board. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers, and then finally,
and you're going to be a Baltimore Raven, okay? Yes, sir.
Baltimore Ravens select J.K. Dobbins.
Yes, sir. Although the wait frustrated him, he couldn't have asked for a better fit. Baltimore had the best rushing attack in the league. It was the perfect place to start his legacy. So the first thing he did was switch his number to 27, the same number his dad wore in high school. Every carry would be for him. But there was one problem. The Ravens already had a 1,000-yard rusher, fan favorite Mark Ingram. And his backup, Gus Edwards, was balling too. So for the first few games, JK barely touched the rock. And for a college star, that was tough. But he stayed patient, knowing his time would come. And in week 8, he got a shot. Ingram went down with an ankle injury, and JK made sure they'd never bench him again, going for 113 yards, averaging 7.5 yards per carry. And it wasn't a fluke. Over the final 6 games, he scored in every single one, finishing with a 160-yard, 2-touchdown masterpiece against the Bengals. Now going into year 2, the hype was real. Mark Ingram was waived, and JK was RB1.
He's someone that we're counting on highly. JK should take a big step this year in terms of every aspect of his game, so I'm looking for him to be a difference maker for us.
The NFL jitters were gone, and the breakout felt inevitable. In the final preseason game, on a meaningless rep, he ran the ball.
Look out, J.K. Dobbins injured on the play, clutching his leg, and this is a potential worst-case scenario.
Just wanted to get the offense one series, just to be together.
Can't look about it, Coach.
Yeah, no, that's football. I'm not going to be able to get over it right now.
It could have happened the first series in Vegas. So if it was going to happen, it was going to happen.
In a freak play, he tore his ACL, LCL, meniscus, and his hamstring came off the bone. His knee was destroyed. Now everybody was asking, why the hell was he even on the field in a preseason game?
I don't understand why he's even playing. It drives me nuts that he's even in the game at this point in the preseason. We know what running backs are. They're not protected.
JK does have a season-ending knee injury. Our hearts go out to him. It's very challenging because he works so hard.
As a player, that must be the most frustrating thing to go through. But like always, JK stayed positive and tweeted, "I'll be back better than ever." The rehab was brutal, as he had to relearn how to walk. 13 months later, he finally stepped back on the field, still smiling. But this time, he spoke openly about the dark place the injury had taken him.
It definitely gets hard for me because, I wish I didn't get hurt in a preseason game. it still weighs on my mind. Like I really never talk about it because I'm always positive and I don't want anyone to think I'm pointing fingers or anyone. But like I played every single preseason game that year, you know, and didn't make it to the season. So I think about that sometimes, but I'm always going to keep faith. You know, just the things that I've been through in life. Like I've been through a lot. Like losing a father is harder than ever. Any injury or anything that happens in football. That's the things that keep me going, keep me positive, and keep me happy. I'm still in the NFL. A lot of people don't get to say that.
In week 3 of the 2022 season, he finally returned. But the moment the hits started coming, he knew. His knee wasn't ready. So mid-season, he got a surgery to remove the scar tissue. Another setback. 7 more games on IR. Still, JK refused to quit. In week 14 versus the Steelers, he finally came back, taking his first carry for 44 yards. It could have been a touchdown, but Minka caught him. His speed wasn't all the way back yet.
You were dragging that leg on that long run, though.
Yeah, man, I was dragging that thing, man. There's a picture of it. I had like horns coming out of my knee. Like I came back so early from it. I'm like, man, I got horns on my knee, man. What is going on? Like, is this gonna be like this forever?
He finished with 120 yards and the game ball.
J.K. Dobbins.
I want to thank God because this process with the knee has been crazy. It's been rough. It's been dark. And I appreciate every single one of y'all, man. We just got to keep going. We're going to keep stacking.
The next game against the Browns, he ran for 125 yards. Then came the playoffs, and JK wanted the ball. But on the biggest play of the game, he didn't get it. Instead, the Ravens called a QB sneak that turned into a fumble, which got returned for a 98-yard touchdown, ending the Ravens' season. Dobbins felt held back, and he was open about his frustrations.
I should be the guy. I'm tired of holding that back. I'm tired of that. It's the playoffs.
What's going to be your focus this offseason, JK?
I'm going to get back to my old self and be better. It's going to be good. It's going to be good to see.
Heading into 2023, he was 100% healthy.
I feel pretty dang good. I'm going to just leave it at that because I feel so good.
Perfect timing too, because this was a contract year. The pressure was on, and he came out swinging. In week 1 against Houston, he showed his speed and went airborne for a touchdown.
Dobbins, airborne, touchdown.
But in the third quarter, the unthinkable happened.
Now it looks like Dobbins is a little bit hobbled as he works his way to the sideline.
MRI has confirmed a torn Achilles muscle, a season-ending injury for the team's biggest run threat.
It hurts to see that type of stuff happen to somebody so good.
Yeah, that gets me in a sad place right now, but
My prayers go out to him and his family. I texted him, I said, wherever you need me, whatever you need from me, like I'm there.
This game ball is going to be for J.K. Dobbins. All right, he's not here right now. For J.K. Dobbins.
Social media flooded with doctors, fans, and analysts saying his career was done. But behind the scenes, JK was still grinding and still smiling, rehabbing alongside Aaron Rodgers.
JK was really, really important for me because he made every day's rehab just a little bit brighter. If you ever been around JK, he's one of the nicest guys. He's just like always in a good mood. He's happy. He's funny.
Is that JK?
He's not working. Hey, he's not working. Hey, look, I'm out here working. I see him on the TV talking on the phone. Why didn't you let him get to work?
7 months later, Dobbins was back in shape, but reality hit hard. At just 24 years old, his injury list looked terrifying. He was now a free agent, and teams saw him as a red flag. Then finally, the call came. The LA Chargers, a 1-year, $1.6 million prove-it deal with only $50,000 guaranteed. At this point, he wasn't a hot name anymore. Most people had written him off. Back in the room with Gus Edwards, he was seen as the RB2. But in week 1, Dobbins silenced everyone.
Got a free play here. Yes, they did. That's Dobbins taking it home for the touchdown.
He rushed for 135 yards and won the game ball.
J.K. Dobbins, where you at?
O-line, you blocked incredible for me. Quarterback, not without you. All y'all defense, y'all held it down in the first half. Let's move on to the next week now.
The next game, he put up 131 yards and another touchdown.
He back, man.
Then 2 touchdowns versus the Browns. And against the Bengals, he sealed it with the game winner. He wasn't just back, he was dominant. On pace for 1,000 yards and making the Pro Bowl. But then, adversity struck. He suffered a sprained MCL and he was out for 4 games. But compared to everything he had been through, that was nothing. So he came back and finished strong. putting up over 1,000 total yards, 9 total touchdowns, and he was nominated for Comeback Player of the Year. After everything he had been through, he was finally able to show how good he really is.
It's a year granted by the Lord Jesus. You think about some of the injuries that I had, most people don't come back from them. A lot of people say, oh, you can't come back from Achilles. Like, I'm listening to these guys, but I'm really not. I finally get to show people like, hey, whenever I'm healthy, I might be one of the best running backs in the NFL, you know? I'm finally getting a chance to prove it. It's only gonna keep getting better.
Man, how can you not root for J.K. Dobbins? What a story. If y'all enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really goes a long way so I can make more of these. See you out the next video. Have a blessed day.